1.1c, how do senior leaders communicate? Communicate. And now this is, once again, this is all three people, all three customer groups. How do you communicate with your workforce? We want to know. How? What? Process. How? What? Process. How? What? Process. Do you use your senior leaders, all your department heads? What are you guys doing? How? What is the step-by-step process you use to communicate with your workforce? And again, tell us all the ways. It could be through texting. It could be through emails. It could be through signage by the time clock. It could be in handouts with a paycheck. It could be on your time clock, right? I mean, it could be all kinds of ways. It could be through your website, a newsletter. Maybe you have a newsletter. How? What process do you use to communicate with your patients, your residents? You tell us that too. And then what process you use to communicate with your other key customers. Now keep in mind, we are expecting, I'm certainly expecting, one of those key customers are family members. All right. You know, I try to write too fast. I talk fast, I write fast. I just hope you can listen fast and read my scribble. Family, I gotta slow down. Family members. That's gotta be one of your key customers, is your family members. Gotta be. Who else is on that list? Is it a hospital discharge planner? Is it? Is it a doctor group? An HMO? I don't know, but if it is, if any of those people are included, you have to tell us how you communicate with them too. You have to tell us how you communicate with them as well. Now, a lot of people, I'm going to try to draw a little graph here. A lot of people draw a table. They'll draw a table and they'll put residents, family members, staff, and then, you know, the other, whoever the other is. And then what they'll do is they will make a table like this. Totally acceptable to do this. Totally fine if you don't want to do this. This might be a little bit more helpful. Just imagine you have a table like this and you have, you know, so email, text, newsletter, bulletin board, phone calls. Maybe you have a pigeon. Probably not a pigeon. But so these are all the different ways that you communicate with your workforce, families. I mean, you can just write down, like, these are all the ways we communicate, period. Like, all the different ways that all the things that we do to communicate. And then just go through and go, okay, so residents are not getting emails, but families are. So families are getting emails, staff are getting emails, staff are getting texts. We're not texting family members. Everybody gets our newsletter, so that's really good. Only staff are really looking at the bulletin board. Family members, and maybe somebody else, we're also giving them phone calls. And, you know, maybe we're even talking to staff on the phone. I don't know. And, I don't know, for the pigeon, maybe everybody's getting the pigeon, right? And maybe instead of pigeon, because I was just trying to be funny, we could even say like a care conference, right? And so if we say care conference, all of a sudden, you can imagine we're not including staff or other. We're probably only including residents and family members with a care plan meeting, right? So all of a sudden we have a nice little table that demonstrates how we communicate with all of our key customers. This is a list of our key customers: residents, family, staff member, and then whoever else. If there isn't, again, you don't have to have 4, by the way, right? Like, you only, the residents, family, and staff is fine. You can add discharge, but you can add anybody you want. But just make sure whoever you add, you're answering all these questions for every one of your customers. 1.1c, this is, these are both 1.1c. So I broke it up because I wanted to see, like, this is how you communicate. This is how do senior leaders communicate. But the question is, how do senior leaders communicate and engage? But they're two different questions. They're two different questions. So I wanted to break it out so that you can see that it's the process and engage. And when I think of the word engage, this is just me and it might be helpful to you, I think of the word listen. Listen. How do senior leaders listen to the entire workforce? How do senior leaders listen to their residents? How do senior leaders listen to their other key customers? And again, you can use the same type of table where instead of a communication, it's an engagement. How do you engage? And this could be with participation rates. It could be through grievance processes. It could be through hotline, 1-800 numbers. It could be through feedback forms, surveys. It could be through maybe you have a suggestion box. That's a way to try to get people to listen. Maybe you have an open door policy, and those of you who have been working with me any length of time, you know that I say bah humbug to a open door policy. However, it is relevant. An open door policy is relevant. Telling somebody, hey, come stop by. If you ever need anything, just don't worry about it. Just go ahead and stop by and see me. It's totally fine. There's two big things that I have a problem with, but for this purpose, and only for this purpose, there's only one problem I have. It's simply not systematic. It's not measurable, right? It's not repeatable. You can't measure how many people are coming into your office and how often, and they're gonna come in every Tuesday morning at 9 to complain. You probably have people who are coming in every Tuesday morning at 9, but maybe you can measure it. It's not measurable, not repeatable, not systematic. It doesn't mean you don't have it. It doesn't mean you don't use it. It doesn't mean you don't write it down. Write it down if you use it. And try to write down something that is systematic. What systematic process do you have where you are listening to your workforce? Do you have staff meetings? Do you have resident council meetings? Do you have care plan meetings? Do you have 72-hour, meetings? Do you have discharge planning meetings? Do you have, do you have open house meetings? Do you have, if one of your customers is hospital discharge planners, are you talking to them on a regular? Do you have monthly meetings with them? And if so, tell us you use that opportunity to listen to them, to engage with them, to find out what they're thinking, how they're seeing things, right? That's the point. That's the point.